Alright, she gave it to Doris. But people don't realize that your very existence is to eat. But I gave him the pots, not because of food.
To give us comfort, to give us ease.
Vibe, yeah, energy.
If I'd seen a drum.
I know Big Brother is over, but can we do a throwback to the beginning, how it all began, the time before the chaos, the period before the unmasking, when every housemate was still, or rather we are still, in their kumbaya spirit. 2 days after their arrival, Big Brother hosted them to a welcome dinner, and this party was looking like, when Big Brother hosts party for the finales, for the top 5, top 6, top 7, this party was looking like that party. That was when I knew that season 10 was gonna be lit. And the housemates as well, they all brought in their A game. In fact, as of that Tuesday, they were acting like they've been in the house for months, years. The energy was real. But something actually made it even more interesting. The game that was played at this welcome party. So Big Brother actually brought in props to use it as a bonding tool, and at the same time use it as an unmasking tool. And then he told them that what they'll be doing with this prop is you pick a prop and then you go give it to the housemates who that prop you pick defines. Well, he said they shouldn't do it as a roast, rather they should do it in a respectful manner. And one thing that amazed me the most was that party was organized on a Tuesday. So the ladies arrived on a Saturday, the male housemates on Sunday, and they just spent Monday and then Tuesday. Here you are describing someone you just met how many days ago. Like when they were saying things about the housemates, I was like, no, hold on, isn't this too early? Like you're giving a colleague, telling this person, oh, you are this, you are that, just in a day. Anyways, let's get to the details of what was given to who and what was said of who. Going by their seating arrangement, Joanna happens to be the first housemate to pick a props, and she went ahead to pick a slippers and gave it to Doris. She said, just like slippers take us to our destination, that Doris have been driving the house to their destination, bringing in new ideas, especially with their wager task. Meanwhile, bear in mind that that very first wager task was a flop. They failed woefully, that even Big Brother said that their presentation had no substance. Anyways, back to this, and she handed it over to Doris. Up next, we have Faith, who picked a pot. Dr. Faith said while people see pots as just a kitchen utensil, that pot does more than that. That pot is where feeding and nourishing takes place, is being mixed, okay? And then he handed the pot to head of house, Jason J, saying that that's what the head of house has been doing, basically nurturing them, feeding them, and taking care of the housemates. Faith said, just like Ortega would say, that cooking is an act, and so is leadership and being the HOH. Ivata picked a mirror and handed it over to Isabella, saying that just like mirror shows us our images, that with Isabella, what you see is what you get. The props Tracy picked was a crown, and then she went ahead to crown Thelma Lawson, saying that this crown here is not just about beauty, that it's about being a queen, that she's crowning Thelma Lawson for being so selfless. She cooked for all the housemates, she is always looking out for the next person beside her. They picked a hand fan and says that it best matches Big Soso. That's just like hand fan bring us comforts, warm, freshness. That's what Soso is and has been to her and the housemates. Coin picked a musicolette and said that to him, this best describes Rude Boy, because personally, when he's angry, he listens to music. When he wants to cry, he listens to music. He talks to music. And basically, music is like a brother to him. And that is who Rude Boy represents in the house. That Rude Boy's energy matches with him, and he understands him very well. Up next was Mide Mide picked a basket and then handed it over to Ruboy, saying that just like a basket, do not discriminate. Basket carries everything that is being thrown into it. So that is who Ruboy is. That Ruboy is authentic, carries everybody along. And then he told Ruboy to keep being himself. Bright Morgan picked an award cup and then gave it to Victory, saying that this is him giving him an award for being real. And I'm like, bro, this is just day 3, I be day 2. Anyways, maybe so far Victory was the realest to him. Up next, we have Big Soso, who picked a trumpet and handed it over to Culture, saying that when trumpet is blown, it makes sound. Sometimes people feel it's noisy, but then when they start blowing it, you begin to enjoy the sound. And that is who Culture is. That Culture always have a question. Culture will have question even when you want to shun him. But by the time he start answering this question, it begins to make sense. You will not even discover that you need to even hear and learn from what he's asking about. Big Soso told Culture, never stop being you. Kola picked a cap and gave it to the head of house, saying that uneasy wears the head, uneasy lies the head that wears the crown. But this is him giving HOH his accolade, that he deserves a cap for being their leader and defender. That is not easy. Handling 28 housemates, adults for that matter, people you don't even know from anywhere. So Tana was up next and she picked a bowl and said that this bowl, how deep and depth a bowl is how Ortega is when it comes to wisdom and knowledge. That this is the depth of his knowledge. Sabrina picked a medal and then went to wear it to Gigi Jasmine, saying that the first day the ladies came into the house, when everybody went upstairs, when they must have packed and went to bed, that Gigi swept the place, that's the sitting area, swept everywhere. And you wouldn't even say that that's just because, okay, maybe first time she's trying to create an impression, but no, that Gigi still continued that way. Even when the whole cleaning thing caused a problem, she still went to clean the next day. Ortega picked a marker and said this is Culture, always leaving a mark wherever he is or wherever he goes, or in any conversation he's engaging in. The Culture must leave something remarkable with you. And then came Mercer. Mercer picked a spoon and gave it to Big Soso, saying that the spoon reminds him of his mom, just like what the spoon does, feeding people. That's what Soso have been doing so far. And before you know it, he started crying, Anyways, let's not go into details because there was a cry-a-thon happened in the first week. People just they cry everywhere. If you won't cry, next thing 10 people don't cry, join you. Season 10. Gambo's picked sweets and said that this best describes Zita. That we all know Zita is sweet. Zita is his baby, and this is where the Zita ship began. This was the day it was made official. Tuesday, yes, on Tuesday, first week, and the Damboski and Zita thing all began from here. Thelma picked a gold and then gave it to Ruboy, saying that there is this treasure saying that all their glitters are not gold, but with you, you glitter and you're gold. Isabella picked a doll and then gave it to Dede, saying that this is who Dede is. That when you look at Dede, all you will just see is a doll. How beautiful, she dress up, come out looking good. Ibifubara picked honey and then handed it to Sabrina, saying that Sabrina has sweet personality and with her every conversation, interaction remains sweet regardless of her mood. Kaikumi picked a tissue paper and then gave it to Isabella for being clean and staying clean and making him stay clean as well. Culture picked a broom, and even though I do not understand how it matches, but according to him, he said the head of house have been sweeping away pressure from the housemates so far. Rude Boy picked a padlock and said that this best describes Thelma. That the day they came into the house, Thelma appeared to be all tied up. But then when he now started engaging in conversation with Thelma, he now began to understand Thelma more, and Thelma even told him that she has been through a process in her life that she has learned, unlearned, and still learning. And he said this is what Thelma is, ready to be locked and unlocked. And then Imisi said she wanted to pick the tissue paper because she's the one who always clean her own tears. But then she's picking this spoon because she wants to eat in everybody's table, that she's dedicating the spoon to herself, that she just wants to be cool and eat from everybody's plates. The housemates then goggled and some even gave her a round of applause. But then what the brief from Big Brother, the instruction was, you will look for a housemate, and try to match that prop with the housemates. But well, anyway, she decided to give it to herself. She's still a housemate though. And that was it. So far, 10 weeks or rather 9 weeks later, who do you think the props, that's Brad's definition, that's explanation they did that day, whose character, personality and energy do you think remained the same to the end of this game? I would like to read your comments and expect more from videos that didn't make it to the timeline and some of our beautiful throwbacks and highlights in the house. I will see you in my next video. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.
I'd have picked that one. I just want to eat on everybody's table. I don't really care who is who, and that's it.